So the lawn people are in full swing, and I am channeling my inner Lorraine Warren with this hairstyle today. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing. I think I'm going to do something with some gold, something kind of starting to get into a holiday look. We'll see where it ends up. And if you would like to come along on this journey with me, then please keep on watching. So I've already primed my skin with the usual culprits. Today, nothing's changed about that. For foundation today, however, I am going to be using the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation in the shade 810 Classic Ivory. I'm just going to squirt some of that onto the back of my hand. And then I'm going to smear it all over my face. Just get it on there. Now that I have that smeared in the important places, like in my eyebrows for some reason, I'm just going to blend all of that out with my Beauty Blender. Which the Beauty Blender with this foundation definitely picks up excess product and makes it a little bit more, I don't want to say sheer because it's still going to be full coverage, but it makes it less heavy looking, I would say. But still gives you a flawless, even blend. And as you can see, when all of that is blended out, I need very little concealer on my face. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo Concealer and just wherever I need it, like on this little sucker up here, and then just around my nose because I tend to rub my nose a lot throughout the day. And even with this foundation, I find a little bit of extra coverage around my nose is going to do me a heap of heck of good. But anyway, then I'm going to highlight with the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous Concealer in the shade Fair. Because this is quite pale, and I do want a little bit more of a noticeable highlight today. Really glowy, really bright highlight, I guess, is what I'm going for. So then I'm going to blend all of that out with the opposite end of my Beauty Blender, which is still a little more damp than I want it to be. So we'll just squeeze that out real quick. And then I'm just going to start patting that out with my Beauty Blender. Going around the edges with the opposite side. Just to make sure it all blends and doesn't just look like a white spot on my face. Then for under my eyes, I'm going to mix the two concealers. I'm just going to go in with the CoverGirl one first. And then I'm going to go in with whatever's left on the back of my hand of the Kat Von D one. You don't need a lot. I'm just going to start patting all of that out until it's blended. Then to set under my eyes and just add the tiniest bit more of coverage, I'm going to use the Bare Minerals Well Rested Powder. I am really enjoying this product. I'm just going to use a Real Techniques setting brush. First I'm going to press that in, really setting everything into place underneath there, and then I'm going to kind of just sweep over it and blend everything together. So I pretty much finished my face minus blush, and I contoured like usual. I am thinking about doing an updated contour and highlight video. The products have changed. The method really hasn't changed so much. I'll have to watch my old one and refresh my memory and see if I actually need to do another one. Did my brows. I do have a whole brow video, and then I did just apply my highlight, and I used my Mary Luminizer from the Balm. For blush today, I'm going to be using this one here from MAC. It is called Animal Instincts. I don't know if this is still available. It was from the A Novel Romance collection. You might be able to get this online still, but I do not think you can get it at stores anymore because their holiday stuff is in full swing, and it's beautiful. Anyway, I'm just going to use my Real Techniques blush brush to apply this. So first I'm going to apply 3 different cream color bases. We'll go with that. And the first one here is from Laura Mercier, and this is in the shade Sugar Frost. This is one of her caviar sticks. I'm going to be applying shadows on top of these, so you don't necessarily need to do this step. I just really want intense eye color today. So I'm going to apply this around the inner corner, around the tear duct, bringing it up on to that very inner corner part of the lid, and then kind of bringing it down and around onto the lower lash line, about a third of the way in. Then I'm going to go in with the Real Scandalize eyeshadow stick crayon in the shade Bulletproof Beige, which is really gold. It's not really beige at all, and the yard guys are right in front of my house. I'm going to apply this all over the top lid, kind of going over the line where the two colors meet, just so it blends. And then just before that sets, I'm going to pat it out with my finger so it's even. Then for my final cream color base, I'm going to be taking this e.l.f. Long Lasting Lustrous eyeshadow in the shade, I have no idea because they don't put the shade names on the bottom of the pots. I think it's Soiree, but it's kind of like the coppery cranberry shade. I wish the name was on the bottom of the pot. And I'm using a Real Techniques accent brush to get some of that on here. I'm going to sweep that on the lower lash line all the way across, making sure to blend it over where our highlight or first color base starts. So, fair warning, I'm pretty much going to be using all Kat Von D eyeshadows for this because they were just the colors that I wanted, to be honest. So I'm going to start with the Monarch palette, which I believe is still available at Sephora. I was in there the other day and I saw it. I don't know if this is a permanent thing or if they're just keeping it in store for a really long time, but it is still available at Sephora if you want it. I think it's perfect for fall, to be honest. But I'm going to take this matte cream shade here and just use a kind of fluffier shader brush and apply that under my brow bone, this whole area between my eyebrow and my crease, actually. This will highlight the area and then help other shades to blend. Then, mainly because I don't really have a good shimmery highlight color other than Legend out of the Ambresi palette, I'm going to use that on the same brush. And today, which is actually November 10th, the day I'm filming, I believe the Anastasia single eyeshadows all launched today. So if you did not get your hands on the Ambresi palette or any of the other palettes she has come out with in the past, I believe you can now purchase all of these individually, which is nice, which I'm probably going to do. Then, going back to my Monarch palette, I'm going to take this really glitzy gold shade. Yeah. And I'm going to take a stiff flat brush and pack that all over my lid. I'm going to leave the inner corner blank for this, though. I'm just going to start packing that all on the lid. I love this gold color. I love all the golds that Kat Von D has come out with. They're just so pigmented and so, like, true gold. So as I'm sitting here doing this, I'm realizing you could probably achieve this look using the original Naked palette. It's not going to be as pigmented because I think the Kat Von D eyeshadows are much more pigmented than Urban Decay's. But you could get the same look and feel by just substituting the colors for the ones in the Naked palette. So, moving on, I'm using this light matte brown shade out of the Monarch palette in my crease, just to soften the edges and give a little bit of definition. Then I'm going to go into my Kat Von D Spellbinding eyeshadow book, which was released for holiday last year. You can no longer get these shades because I believe the vast majority of them were limited edition if they're not in other palettes she has. However, like I said, you can use the Urban Decay Original Naked palette because it's got very similar colors. But I'm going to use this pinky kind of highlight shade here called Glam. And I'm going to put that around my tear duct for a very highlighted look. I'm just going to start by just packing that color on, because these are so insanely pigmented that they do have a decent amount of fallout. Not so much the Monarch palette, but this Spellbinding eyeshadow book. Just going to pack that on, and then we're going to just move that shading brush back and forth just to kind of blur that edge there and just really blend those colors together. Then, to finish off the top lid, I'm going to take this orangey, brownie color here, and just with a very tapered, fluffy blending brush, I'm going to pick that color up. I'm going to just sweep that in the crease on the outer corner, or outer half, and just make it a very warm outer half of the eye. Then, just going back in with our blending brush with no extra product on it, I'm just going to blend that color out. Off camera, I did touch up the gold on the upper lid a little bit. I really wanted the gold to pop and be the main focus of the look today, so I did go ahead and apply the gold over top of everything. I blended over it again, just to make sure that it was really intense and that it would pop. Now, moving on to the lower lash line, this e.l.f. long lasting lustrous eyeshadow, really long name product, will last a long time underneath there. It won't budge. They do set. But I'm going to go in and put some eyeshadows over top of it. So the first one is going to be this eyeshadow here called Stupid Autocorrect. It's kind of a mauve-y red pink. And I'm just going to use my, what is this? Shading brush from Real Techniques, and I'm going to blend that all over the eyeshadow, just to add some smudginess down there. Then I'm going to pick up this shade here called Wonderland. It's a little bit of a deeper purple, and it's still got that kind of a mauve tone to it though. And I'm just going to put that on the outer third-ish of the lower lash line, just to kind of darken that outer corner a little bit down there. So off camera, I applied some really uneven winged liner. Whatever, my mascara kind of hides that fact. So for my lips, I'm going to keep it really simple and use a lip gloss. This is the Kaylin Art Touch Tinted Lip Gloss in the shade Love Affair. And it's a deeper, kind of more burgundy red with a little bit of a berry undertone to it. So I'm just going to just lightly apply this. So with that kind of completes this fall holiday-esque-ish look. I think the gold and the burgundy are very good for like Thanksgiving, because those are the colors that remind me of Thanksgiving. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video.